YouTube, it's Kev here, back again from the Kev Baker Show. 31st of August, got a nice warm cup of coffee, and I'm going to bring you some Earth Changes news today, and a bit of an alert. We have got a historic world first. As you can see from the headline here, 3 Category 4 hurricanes have appeared in the Pacific Ocean. Not 1, not 2, but 3, folks. Now, the meteorologists are telling us that this is due to an increased and strengthened El Nino cycle this time round, with raised temperatures or raised water temperatures in the Pacific. Now, that is definitely exasperating the problem here. Now, before we go any further and before I take you into the realms of woo and speculation, let's just take a look at these hurricanes first, shall we? Now, I said it's a historic first that there's 3 category 4s in a chain, like you can see on this amazing picture here. You know, there's never even been 3 category 3s at the same time. So this really is uncharted territory, unmarked water, pardon the pun. Now then, the first one up, we've got 3 hurricanes, like I say, Kilo, Ignacio and Jemina. First up is Ignacio. Now, the big island of Hawaii is bracing for high winds, heavy rain, and ocean swells of up to 6 metres as strengthening Hurricane Ignacio approaches the state. Ignacio has sustained winds of up to 217 kilometres per hour, and forecasters at the Central Pacific Hurricane Centre said conditions are right for it to continue strengthening, but upper level winds will weaken the storm later this week. 217 kilometre an hour winds. Now, living in the UK here, we start to get excited, and not excited but panicking, and there's hype in the media when we maybe get, say, 120 kilometre an hour winds. And here we have 217, but that's not the only one, because next up we've got Jemina, and this is following close on the heels of Ignacio, and it is strengthened into Category 4 with maximum sustained winds of even higher at 225 kilometres an hour. Now, Jemina is expected to remain a major hurricane into midweek, but it will still be far from Hawaii, thankfully enough. Forecasters, though, are warning that it is uncertainty about where its path goes. And last up is Kilo. Now, it says Kilo is safely situated in open water. Well, with the unpredictability of these things, how can anything be described as safely when Kilo has winds of up to 220 kilometres per hour? Now, it's expected to remain a major hurricane until at least Thursday. So these 3 storms in the area. Now, like I say, you've got this website here. They're actually going on. If you come down here, they actually tell you about where is it now? Yeah, the appearance of the chain of hurricanes may be linked to the strengthening El Nino weather pattern being observed in the Pacific. The Australian Bureau of Meteorology says the eastern half of the North Pacific was now more than 1 degree warmer than averages, with patches more than 2 degrees higher. So there you go. There's images of these hurricanes here. Absolutely amazing. You've got the water temperatures, and of course the El Nino raises the water temperature, which gives rise to these tropical storms, hurricanes. And here we have it here. What an amazing sight that is, until you consider the havoc that they can wreak. Now then, this is where I'll take you in to the land of speculation and a realm called woo. Because don't lose sight of the fact that although the El Nino effect definitely can be having an exasperating effect on the hurricane season, and we'll see an increase in frequency of hurricanes, probably in intensity as well, there are things out there called weather weapons. We can look back at something that used to be called HARP. It's basically been closed down now because they perfected the science and they moved it round new Gucci high advanced technological installations around the world. You've got that kind of projects. You've also got the biggest man-made machine on the planet, which has a magnetic field 100,000 times stronger than that of Earth. What am I talking about? Well, I'm only talking about CERN. Well, CERN's been cranking up the experiments this year, and now here we are Voila, we're seeing consequences. Again, remember, all speculation and woo, right? But while there's weather weapons and the UN has weather treaties, it wasn't too long ago that we were all talking on the net about the possibility that the Pentagon had got a bit pissy at China for devaluing the yuan. Now we speculated again that they may well have attacked Tianjin, and that was the massive explosion we've seen. Asymmetric warfare, deniability, that's what you want in the early phases of a war, because you don't want to be painted as the bad guy, right? You don't want to get the blame. So what kind of new exotic woo type weapon could China fire back at the West? Well, it could come in the form of a hurricane machine. However, that's just speculation and woo, right? There's a hell of a lot changing on this planet right now, and we best get used to these kind of erratic weather patterns. It's not climate change like it says up the top here, because climate is always changing. It's just whatever is happening right now, be it the period of time we're in the cycle, be it the area of space that we're entering, who only knows, be it all the technological advancements and playing about with the environment, such as HARP, chemtrails, all these kind of things. Is this having the effect? I tell you, our own hubris and our own arrogance may well lead to our own downfall. And that's not something that the elites would be too bothered about, because they're all provided for. Imagine if there was 10 hurricanes coming, all bearing down. Guess what? The elites who are running all these projects that might have actually increased the chances of this happening, they're all going to be in bases underground. That's right, it'll be me, you, everyone else that's left up here to deal with the consequences, and we had nothing to do with weather weapons or changing the environment for whatever goddamn reason. What, they want to make a plasma, or they have a plasma in the atmosphere? They've basically ionized it so that they can spy on all of us, control the weather. Sounds ridiculous, sounds like woo and speculation, but the more you go and look into this, the more this technology exists. Now, I am not saying that China is attacking the US with 3 hurricanes, but if I was to connect dots and speculate, I could make a pretty substantial case for the fact that it is a potential weapon they could use. So then, YouTube, let me know what you think, and thoughts and prayers go out to absolutely everyone involved and everyone that lies in the path of this. Let's just hope that they turn on the weather weapons over in America, in the UK, wherever it needs to be, to try and deflect these storms. But of course, they don't do that, because we live in a world of crisis managers. That's what the governments are. And from crisis, it's easy to control us. Later, YouTube.